I can't wait to hear about it. We'll create a little bit of a space for everybody to share once we're all online. I think we're waiting for about 16 or 17 more people. There's Kathleen. Hello, Kathleen. How are you today? You'll have to unmute yourself, my love.
I just realized I was muted. Sorry.
There you go. I think it's one of the biggest things we say nowadays. It's like, you're on mute, you're on mute, you're on mute. It seems to be the most popular statement that we have. Right, I'm just going to let everybody in. Those of you that are here, if you'd like to put on your cameras, if your bandwidth allows it, you can do that. You can keep yourselves on mute. It's quite nice to see the faces and to see everybody. There's Erica. Nice to see you, Erica. Or nice to that's Erica. Erica. Ah, well, I had not put it all together, Erica. How did I miss that?
We only met once, so I'm glad I made an impact.
No, you did. And I was like, of course you did.
I'm using my voice. I'm using my voice.
I'm very glad to hear you using your voice. There's Bernice. Nice to meet you, Bernice. Odeta's here. Odeta's the lucky winner of the... Oh, she's upside down. Look at that. Did you get upside down, Odette?
I am trying to correct that, but I'm struggling a little bit.
I love that.
That has never happened.
Never happened. So Odette's the lucky winner of one of the Nirvana coaching programs. So it's very lovely to have her with us tonight. Right, let's see. There's Adila's manager. Mariette's joined us. Hello, Mariette. All these beautiful people that I've been connecting with all week now at least get to see your faces, which is wonderful. We'll just get another 2 minutes for everyone. There's Mariette. Oh, awesome hair. I try and do purple hair often, and just my hair seems to reject it somehow. It's awesome. Alita's with us. There's Elizabeth joining us now. Right. There's Elizabeth. Nice to see you. You look beautiful. Just look in the camera and go, I look beautiful. That's all you need to say. That's all you need to do. There's Alita. Hello, my love. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Right. Dilla's trying to join us again. Angel A is with us all the way from, she's in the UK. So when she comes online, I'll introduce her there to everybody. Right. Let's just give it a few more minutes for those that are coming online. And then we will. There's Angel A. So for those of you that had read the messages, Angela Reynolds from Shining Souls that donated the personal mandalas. This is her sitting on your screen here. She's waving at you now. Not me. I'm not Angel A. Angel A is Angel A. We don't try to compete with that. Part of freedom is being yourself. So I can't pretend to be Angela. She can't pretend to be me. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get started and let the rest of the crowds come in. Kathleen's got a little friend with her there. It's joining, saying hello. All right, so wonderful to see you all and to meet you all. Hello, darling. You're welcome to join us if you want to. You might get bored, though. All right, like I said, I think there's another 10 or 12 people joining us, but they'll come online as they do. But we're going to get started to honor those of you that are all here. And so welcome to Freedom Live. Welcome after a week of all these interactions. It's an honor and a privilege to spend some time in real presence moment with you. Like, this is different to me recording it and then sending it out and then trying to find time to interact with your comments and do all the things that we did last week. So thank you for being in the world at this point in time, and thank you for showing up, and thank you for being willing and brave enough to challenge yourself, because I think the program last week, whilst magical in many ways, is quite challenging. Certainly as the guidance is coming through, it's not always the easiest things to hear and to acknowledge, and I've been really quite blown away by all your stories, which we'll get to share a little bit more of as we go through it. So Alida, I know that you didn't participate full last week, but that doesn't matter. You are more than welcome to just participate as you experience tonight. Yeah. Okay, so a couple of things about a Zoom session with me. So those of you that have never done a Zoom session with me, firstly, you are being recorded. So wave, smile. This is your camera ready face. Those of you that have been nervous of doing video work, This is your breakthrough moment. This is where it all changes for you. So these sessions are recorded and we will be interacting tonight. So you'll get a chance to watch yourself and listen to yourself tomorrow. And when you do that, you go, I sound amazing. Wow, I look amazing. That is the only way you're going to respond to seeing yourself, because that is the truth of it. So if you have never been on Zoom before, well done for making it onto the platform. That's a great start. It's not that difficult. You will now see that you have a couple of options as to how you see the screen, depending on whether you are on your phone or on a computer. If you're on your phone, you probably would see 3 or 4 people at a time. If you're on your computer, you can actually see everyone at the same time. So there's a button at the top right. Those of you that don't know, it's got like a little thing that says view, and you can choose speaker or gallery. If you choose speaker, whoever's speaking will be the video that you see, the person that you see. I would recommend putting it on gallery, and you can see all the people's in the gallery. You can see everybody's faces there. So you can toggle with that and see what's happening there. The way I work online is to make it as, there's Erica's, I'm not going to say better half because it's such a terrible thing to say, but it's looked like you were getting coffee, which is a lovely thing, or something to drink. You can have whatever you want to drink. It's a nighttime session. You can do what you want. So I'd recommend, if you've got it onto the gallery view, is that everybody puts on their screens as much as you can. So if you could put on your screens now, that would be awesome, because then we can see you. There's Aradna. Hello, Aradna. Angel A may be there. Adila. There's Vanessa. Hello, Vanessa has broken through all the social media technology stuff. You are here, my love. There you are. There's Adila all the way from, where are you from, Adila? You're somewhere, you're on mute at the moment. Where are you?
Malawi.
Malawi. So we've got Adila from Malawi, Angel A in the UK, and I think everybody else is relatively around us. I don't think anybody else is from far away. Okay, so now that you're all on screen, I want you to figure out how to talk to people when you're on Zoom, when you're online, and this is how you do it. So you're going to do a thing called wiggly fingers. So you're going to try it out now, wiggly fingers. Some of you have done this before. Wiggly fingers means, hi, I see you, you're lovely, I like you, I like what you're saying, it's great. So when somebody's saying something you like, you can, including me, because I quite like that, and give me some acknowledgement. So I'm like, wiggly fingers lets me know that you're there, you're present, you're enjoying it, you're valuing what's going on. So keep yourselves on mute as much as you can so that we don't hear you eating and all your background noise of the family and everything that's going on. But if you can keep your camera on, that's really, really great. The next thing I want to introduce you to on Zoom very quickly so we can play with it during the session is there's a function called the rename function. So you will see on your screen, you're a little block. Everybody's got their own little block. We're all in our little squares. It gives new meaning to stay in your block. And if you go at the top of your screen there, you'll see 3 little dots, like a little blue thing that says 3 dots. If you click on that, there'll be a rename function. What I'd like you to do is rename yourself, leave your first name or the name you want to be called, so you can take away your surname, and the color that you most associate with freedom. So for example, I would say Taryn, and I would say purple, because that's my color. So you can all rename yourselves at this point. So take a minute and figure that out. There's Lindy, joined us. Hello, Lindy. Vanessa, are you there with us, my love? I'll see you here twice, which is absolutely fine. Okay, Pearl is green, which is awesome. Odette is pink. Okay, Erica, if you want to leave your first name there with your color teal so that people will just be able to call your name, that'll be awesome. Thank you. Elizabeth is yellow and she's even wearing yellow for us, which is even better. It's all integrated, Elizabeth, amazing. Mariette is purple, you see, purple hair. I got it, I got it, I got it. Aradna's gold. Angel A is turquoise, of course. Elida is turquoise. Oh, Venice is a blue unicorn. I love that. I love that. I love that. Kathleen is also green. Okay, Vanessa, do you need me to share the rename function for you? You got it? You're playing? All right. And Lindy, I think you've renamed yourself to pink, my love. Adila is rose gold. Did you change? Oh, there you go. Adila is rose gold. Beautiful. Okay, so during the session, at various points, I may ask you to rename yourself. So now you've got that sorted. You know how to do that. You will also see two things on your screen.
Okay, you're going to have to explain that to me. Sorry, darling.
Okay, no problem, Vanessa.
I
No
was
problem.
on the web thing. It was a bit
No
of a,
problem.
yeah.
So if you look at your little screen,
Yep.
you've got 3 dots in the top right-hand corner. If you put your mouse over the top right-hand corner.
Oh, I don't. I've got view.
Okay, on your
Exit
little
screen.
screen, not the big screen, just the screen that you see yourself in.
Oh, mine. Yes, got it. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Rename. Got it. Fine. No problem.
Okay, good job. You're on top of it. Okay. You will also see the ability to put, there's Lindy. Hello, Lindy. How are you, my darling? Seeing you there. Okay. The other thing I'd like you to find is the chat box. So there's a chat box. If you activate the chat box, that is how you can chat to me and each other in one of the ways anyway. So if you found the chat box, I want you to greet everybody on the call tonight. So there you are. Kathleen's found it. She's got a wave. Pearl's saying, hi, everyone. Hi, beautiful people, says Mariette. There we go. You see, this is the right group. Ah, sunny, hot Cape Town. How beautiful. Send us some. Angel A, hello, beautifuls. Good. There we go. If anybody's battling to find it, let me know. Oh, hello. I like that, says Erica. Hello, everyone. Beautiful. So you're all finding it. Oh, Malawi. I couldn't believe it when I saw that today. How cool. Okay. So during the session, there's going to be opportunities where I'm going to ask you to share, to talk. If you're wanting to come online, I will give you a way of doing that now. But otherwise, please interact on the chat box as much as you want to. It gives you an opportunity to share an aha. I call aha moments BFOs. So those are called blinding flashes of obviousness. If we're going through tonight and something happens and you have a BFO moment, isn't it cool? Thank you, Mariette, for engaging. I like that. If you have a BFO moment, please share that with us. If you have any questions, things coming up, please share that as well. So I will monitor the chat box and see what's going on there. If you would like to interrupt me properly and talk, because you know this throat chakra thing that we got going on, which means express yourself, we're going to use our voices, you're welcome to put up your hand. So if you look at the participants section on Zoom, you should find a thing that says you can put your hand up or put your hand down. I can't see it on my side because I'm the host. So if somebody is, there we go, Kathleen, I've just let her in, thank you. There's Charmaine. Right, so if you all find the hands up function, Angela, maybe you can explain it from your side. Oh, there, Kathleen's found it. So you should all find, there we go. Erica's found it, and a thumbs up. Aradna's found it. Beautiful. Silver's found it, who I think is Vanessa. Yeah. All right, there we go. Hands up, hands up. If anybody's battling, let us know. Oh, we got clapping happening. All sorts of very cool things going on. Okay, so anybody battling, you can switch off your mic and let me know if you want me to explain it. Oh, Venice found like little, how did you do that? Like, that's freaking cool. By the way, I swear, I try not to swear in my YouTube videos, but I can't promise I won't swear tonight. It happens. Part of my authenticity is apparently. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so now that you've got your hand up, you can put it down. You can figure out how to do that. Okay. I think that's all you need to know for us to get started tonight. It really just gives everyone who is new to this an opportunity to interact. As I said, we will be playing around and we will be lots of chance to speak and express yourself. Some people still battling to put their hand down, which is fine. Charmaine, if you're there, you're welcome to come online on your camera when you're ready. Venny's also joined us, so welcome. Okay, so most of you have participated in all the recordings of last week. I need to again acknowledge that it was an absolute gift and a joy to put those together. The opportunity to share gives me an opportunity to learn and heal and grow myself. So when there's a community that comes together that is all willing to participate in a journey like we did last week, it is amazing to do that. And you have that whole process and all those videos as lifelong access. And I don't know about you, but I could go and try and listen to those again and again, because there's always something different that comes forward, depending on how we show up and what we are doing there. Tonight, what we're going to be doing is working with a lot of the content that came up last week. Those of you that are still busy with it, please don't worry. It's a process that can unfold in its natural way for you. And we're going to look at how do we use all of what we created last week and integrate that into some daily processes and habits. What do I mean by that? How do we really start to allow ourselves to explore freedom from an inside out process? And you would have noticed that's the key message from last week, is freedom is not an outside in process. We are not sitting here waiting for some divine being to miraculously change your bank account and your relationships and your home and the world and everything, and suddenly you are free. We are creating freedom from an inside out process. And you would have noticed very specifically how intimate freedom is to each person. What freedom is to me is a very different journey to what freedom is to you. And so we're not looking for wide scale, sort of universal, this is the formula for what your life needs to look like. Freedom is actually truly embracing the gift of authentic expression and saying, this is me, this is who I am, and this is why I'm here. And allowing yourself to become immersed in that, to embrace the gift of you, to truly know that there's not a single soul on earth that isn't here on purpose, that you are here on purpose, and your body, your heart, your mind, and your spirit is unique to you. And when they come together in the harmony that they're meant to, you are here to express your gifts to the world in exactly the way that is you. And so freedom is an amazing journey of self-love, I think, at the heart of it, of really allowing yourself to notice all the things that hold you back from being authentically you in the world. And that's when we dealt with things like our victim and our addict and the fears in us and all the various other dynamics that go on in our world. So as we go through tonight, there's a couple of exercises we're going to do. I'm going to encourage you to play fully, to know that this is a space where every single person has shown up here with the same intention of finding the courage to live their life authentically. And every single one of you on this call here tonight has the sort of fears and insecurities that go along with that. And so this is a place of expression and playfulness, and a real place where everybody's got your back. If you don't have somebody's back, now is the time for you to leave the call. If you think you're here for some sinister reason and you're here to hurt anybody, please admit that to yourself and leave now. Angela is disappearing. But otherwise, I promise you, there's not a single person here that isn't willing to honor the sacredness of the journey, because you're all going through it. You're all involved in it. So when I give you opportunities to share, to speak, to interact, take like a hand like this and go, I promise I will playfully. I will express myself. I will show up and I will say what is on my mind. And I'll do what it is that I'm feeling is courageous and brave for me to do. So I honor and ask you to do that. So as I said, we'll go through some exercises. I am going to then take you through some thoughts around how we integrate freedom into our daily habits. What are the anchors we need? What does that mean? How do we actually not let our environment be the dictator of our life? And truly know that you're the creator of your life, as opposed to You know, every morning we get up and we remember. We remember, oh, my knees sore. We remember, oh, my bank account. We remember, oh, the diary. We remember, oh, I didn't do the dishes. Whatever it is, remember, oh, I'm still married to him. Whatever it is, yeah. You remember, and that memory means that you start to relive the emotions and experiences you had yesterday. And in that, we live in that reactive mode rather than the creation mode. And so one of the ways for us to shift this is to have, hello, Fritz, there you are, is to have amazing ways of us being able to find new patterns, interrupt the things that make our lives feel small and trapped, and to put in place new things that allow us to experience and expand into what it is. So we'll be talking about how we anchor that, how we experience that, and how we put in place habits that we can experience freedom in our day-to-day life. At the end of the session, well, towards the end of the session, I will be doing some live readings. So the live readings would be based on questions that I get from you as a group. What will happen there is that is when I will channel whatever your question is. I will get guided intuitively as to whose question is going to give the most impact to the room as a whole. And I will then do some live readings. Those are amazing opportunities to learn from spirits. And even if it's not for you specifically, it'll be for you. Trust me, like that's the way it works, is spirit comes forward tonight and says, okay, let us support this community, this group in a way that is powerful. And so we will do some live readings and get some opportunity to get clearer around some of the dynamics that are coming up for you. And then, of course, there'll be the end. At the end, we'll do the giveaway for one other Nirvana coaching program. So one of you on the call tonight will win the opportunity to have 4 sessions one-on-one with me for free. Odette, you already won that. Aren't you lucky? I mean, I thought that when I saw your name, I was like, oh, that's just meant to be, isn't it? It's just the way it's supposed to be. Okay. So anybody want to say anything or ask any questions before we move into some of the exercises for tonight? Anybody got anything on your mind or any questions about the logistics or what to do? You're all good. Right. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to put you into some breakaway rooms. So those of you that feel like your heart is now beating faster, it's your opportunity to say, I promise to play fully. And what you're going to do in the breakaway rooms, it's going to be with 2 or 3 other beautiful souls that are part of this call, is an opportunity for you to use your voice and connect in around 2 things. Your greatest awareness of freedom from the journey you've gone through so far, and one of the things you're most hoping to get tonight. So you're just going to share, you're going to go, hi, I'm Taryn. Clearly don't use my name because you have a different name to me. The greatest awareness I had from last week is, and the thing I'm most hoping to get from tonight is, and you're going to just share that. As somebody's sharing with you, you don't need to do anything other than honor them and listen to them and notice what's similar and what's different, because that's the beauty for all of us. Right, so let us see here. I'm going to, Radna is joining again. Do you need to for the breakout rooms? Got this down to a fine art now. You know what to do, yeah? So it is 7:22 now. I'm going to give you let's say I'm going to give you 15 minutes in the breakout room. So you've got some time to interact with the other beautiful souls and human beings that are there. If you need me, you can call me. This is the true way that we can move through time and space, is I can just join you in your breakout room. So there's a little button and you can call me. I may actually even pop in. So if I join you in your room, just welcome me with love and just let me be the voyeur that I am and just sit and listen and watch what's going on. Okay, so 15 minutes. It's a automatic assignment. So I don't know who's in your room. You'll find out when you get there. So off you go and enjoy. All you'll need to do is accept. Just will ask you and you say join a room. So there we go. Wait, Aradna, I need to fix you. Wait. All right, let's do this. Move to, there we go. All right, right now you're fixed. I've fixed you up. Right. Okay, enjoy. It's my favorite part. Everybody comes popping back up. It's like a like a popcorn thing. Like, oh, pop, pop, pop. Oh, there's all these people coming back in. Oh, amazing. Right. So as you're coming back in, what I'd love you to do, please, is to share in the chat box what was an amazing insight you had in that session. So something you had in common, or something that somebody said, or something you remembered, or just what came up for you. It's just in the chat box, just sort of a reflection of what that was like for you. So you can all go into doing that. Let's just see. Vinny keeps trying to join and we keep losing her. So in the chat box, just share what was. It was wonderful to share. So much more in common than we realized, don't we? Well, there's Angel A joining us. Awesome chatting with like-minded people. We're all on a journey. One of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves as human beings is connection with other human beings that are open and light and authentic and caring. The community is a really important thing to our own growth and our own healing. Most of us live in sort of some form of radical self-reliance. You know, we're in our form of independence. I need no one. I am fine. I will do it myself. I've got this sorted. All those amazing stories that we have. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. You don't need to be dependent on someone, but you do need to interact with others. Every time we express ourselves in groups, we become more connected, and every time we do that, we become more whole. And so it's a beautiful thing to just share. Oh, there we go. Beautiful to see what's coming up here. Lovely to share experiences. Such a group of beautiful, like-hearted humans. Vanessa, I'm very lucky. People like you find me. You know, that's the way it works. No problem, Alida. That's okay. Oh, beautiful, Elizabeth. All right. So connecting is an important part of healing. As I said, this trauma response that we have to the world of this radical self-reliance, this independence that we have, is something that as part of your own journey, remember when we were looking at the expression aspect of freedom, there was ask for help, get involved, show up, use your voice, let others work with you. It is hard, hey, Elizabeth. And so that boundaries thing becomes a really important thing, because we need to learn our yeses and our nos so that we're comfortable that if somebody's invading my space, I can say no. And if somebody's, you know, needing to come close, I can say yes. So this relationship, this tension we have between connecting and being whole in ourselves, that means that we aren't taken advantage of. Our energy is not taken advantage of. Our physical being's not taken advantage of. And the whole dynamic that exists there is the relationship that our head has with trust. Can I trust or not trust? Is it okay to trust or not trust? And trust is a very interesting part of freedom. All right, so as a starting point for yourself tonight, as we go into starting to look at how you can take your own relationship with freedom a little bit further. This Vinny's back, let's try letter M. Is I'm going to pull 3 cards as a starting point. So these are cards for the group as a whole. So I would like you to connect in with yourself and say card 1, card 2, or card 3. You want card 1, card 2, or card 3. And trust that that's the message you most need as a starting point for tonight. You can put in the chat box which card you're choosing. Card 1, card 2, or card 3. Just into it. Card 2, card 1, card 2, card 1, card 2. Put out card 3s, not getting chosen. There's some card 3s, card 3s, card 3s. Nice, you're not 3 dominating. So funny. All right. So as I connect you to these cards, I'll give a little bit of information around it. We're going to do more readings later on, but just notice what's the theme that's coming up for you and what you're expressing and what you're dealing with and what this card is asking you to pay attention. So card number 1, everybody who chose number 1, is call back your spirit. Call back your spirit. So this is a card that is asking you to connect back with the divinity in you. That through our lives, we disconnect from our spiritual side. We're so coping with life, dealing with it, doing what needs to be done, that we've kind of put on pause and said, oh, you know, the part of me that's bigger, the part of me that trusts, the part of me that's connected, the part of me that believes, the part of me that is just so much bigger than the small self of me. I just don't pay much attention to it. I just got to get through my day. You know, I've got to do this meeting. No time for love here. You know, just got to survive. So calling back your spirit is this ability to say, you're welcome back. Think of your spirit wanting to reside in your body as a home. You're welcome here. I'm not going to reject you. I'm not going to abuse you. I'm not going to ignore you. You're welcome. I embrace you as part of me. Yeah. I'm not sure who's got the microphone on. There seems to be, I think, Aradna, one of yours has got your microphone on. I wonder if you could switch that off first, my love. No problem, Vinny. I hope you can join us now. So call back your spirit. Card number 2. Right. I'm just the channel, okay? You do not get angry with me. I'm just the channel. There is no right and there's no wrong. There is no right and there is no wrong. So those of you that are sitting in card number 2, you're probably procrastinating and analyzing, what's the right thing for me to do? What should I do? What shouldn't I do? Which is the best way? What if I fail at this? What if I don't do it right? You can't do freedom wrong, by the way. It's the whole essence of freedom. So there is no right and there is no wrong. Our mind has an amazing way of bullying the rest of ourselves. And the way our mind does that is with a complete over-analysis of everything. Analyzes everything into good, bad, right, wrong, light, dark. Yeah. We live in this place of selfish, unselfish, happy, sad. And we make one side good and one side bad. And in that way, we live a very separate sort of existence. When you look at yourself in the mirror, do you separate yourself into what's right and what's wrong about you? It's all you. You can't ignore parts of yourself. When you look at other people, are you analyzing, are they good or bad? As opposed to whether they're good for me or not for me. And the analysis of right and wrong can keep us very critical of ourselves and others, very judgmental, which is okay. but it can also keep us very stuck because we don't do anything until we know it's the right thing to do. Your intuition goes, can we just do this, please? Is it the right thing? I don't know. Can we just do it? Just do it. Analysis paralysis. Paul says that's a cop-out. And card number 3. Card number 3, you're in the right place. Raise your vibration. Raise your vibration. And that's really, I suppose, I can't find a better card for us to move into the rest of this evening or the next part of this evening, is that I've been talking about this component of claiming freedom from the inside out. And so when we went through the process last week, there were so many beautiful exercises that were given, an abundance of exercises. Some you may have done, some you may have resisted, and some of you may still be doing them. And the important part of the exercises was you learning what freedom feels like. Not what freedom is in a future state. What is freedom now? What does it feel like? What happens for you when you do the meditation or you look at your pictures or something happens that means that you can experience the freedom to speak, the freedom to show up, the freedom to say yes, the freedom to say no, the freedom to create, the freedom to play, the freedom to be weird, the freedom to disappoint others, the freedom to not fit in. Whichever one of these plays out for you, we need to understand the only way that you can create the life you want to live, which is one of the core aspects of freedom, is to feel it before I see it, is to inhabit the experience of it before I live in it. And this is difficult for the mind. Some of you will be sitting there going like, yeah, fuck, really? That's lovely. Yeah, you all say this stuff. Yeah. Have you seen my life? Have you lived it? No, I live mine, which is a full-time job all by itself. The ability to heal the resistance to feeling your own heart opening. The ability to heal any resistance to feel your own heart opening is how we shift vibration. Because at the highest vibration, we're in a place of what's called grace. That is why I linked you all to the last Evolve webinar on grace, the law of grace. The highest form of love we can experience on earth at this point in time is grace. And grace is a place of deep flow. So those of you that had a resistance to the principle of flow, when we looked at the freedom principles, grace is the place of awe. You know, when you've ever watched something in nature and you've just gone, oh, wow, isn't that amazing? Like that moment of awe, like everything stands still, doesn't it? We can see that in a moment when we're with someone we love or with a child. We can see it in nature. It doesn't matter what's going on in your world. You can see the awe of life. Like it's just magical in that moment. Grace is the ability to look in the mirror and have that same feeling. Grace is the ability to look at the things you don't like in life and have that same feeling. Grace is the ability to spread love to everything. Not without boundaries, not with being a walkover, but saying, wow, that's your best self today. What's going on for you? You need a bigger hug than yesterday. Yeah. So the relationship between grace and freedom is useful to know at this point. Can you look in the mirror with the same feeling that you look at a newborn child, or an owl soaring in the sky, or a sunrise or sunset, or the ocean's movement. Whatever brings you a feeling of awe, that is the feeling that's going to connect you to freedom. Elizabeth, one of my realizations this week was how much freedom I've already managed to create, but how it hasn't automatically translated into the fulfilled, joyful life I hoped for. So a beautiful reflection. There's really some beautiful research that's been done that when you get what you've been longing for, do you enjoy it? Or do you move on to the next thing because of the obsession with it's not good enough? And that's something we do, isn't it? Not necessarily because we're not having gratitude, because our inclination of our mind is we can't be happy. We have to be fixing something, working on something, progressing to something. We can't just be in the grace of joy of our life. Does that resonate, Elizabeth? Anything in there resonate for you? No? Do you want to say anything, my love? You're all good.
I can speak. I couldn't speak on my laptop and I can speak on my phone. I think that when we are actually focused on joy, we realize we might need a little less freedom than we thought we did. I did all the freedom stuff, I work for myself, from my home, got a view of the ocean, I've got my own time away, but those were the real joy stuff. And I think we should be careful. I'm very grateful for where I am, but not just run after the freedom, but what's that feeling of joy we want to follow out. So.
Beautiful, beautiful awareness. Because remember, the principles of freedom included that form, that foundation, that focus on the things that we need to create. And so this feeling of freedom, one of the major reasons is that we haven't gone with sort of a typical vision board kind of exercise this week is you don't know what you want, really. You can say, I want all these things, but this integration of freedom and joy is navigating that I meet all the parts of me are in alignment. My head, my body, my heart, my spirit, all connect with what's happening here. And what the mind might view as freedom may not be what the spirit is viewing as freedom. May not be what the physical aspect of it is. And so that's why this feeling component is quite important, to bring the various parts of you that are disagreeing into alignment. Notice this card that came up as one. What is your spirit view as freedom? Trust me, my spirit views freedom as me doing webinars on a Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. It's not certainly what my mind views as freedom, I promise you. Yeah. So what your spirit views as, asks you to do, to show up, to act, to get involved with your life, may not be escaping the various things that your mind thinks we need to. So this alignment, this coming together, my mind, body, heart, and spirit, to connect all these parts of me. So I said we're going to talk about two things tonight, habits and anchors. And I want to start off tonight with the idea of anchors. Anybody who's ever done any form of neuro-linguistic programming would have heard about anchors. I'm not coming at it from that typical way. I'm coming at it more from the way spirit has shown me how we create a reality based on the things that are around us and the things that we surround ourselves with. There's a whole school of thought around a thing called epigenetics. And epigenetics is that everything that is in our environment actually infiltrates into our being and starts to create us. So the people we surround ourselves with, the life that we're in, etc., etc. The process of surrounding yourself with anchors or things or people that get you to feel aligned, integrated, joyful, and free starts to create the possibility of you creating more and more freedom in your life. This is not so foreign when you think about anything you obsess about, you create. And we get stuck and trapped in our own experience. Stuck in a workplace where everybody's miserable, and so more misery is created because we obsess about that. the ability to interrupt those patterns is really important. And so if we listened earlier to the idea of every morning we wake up and we start to remember what our life was like yesterday, we use things in our environment to remind us of that. We stumble, we pick up our phone, we check Facebook, we stumble out of bed, we kick our toe on the same thing that we've kicked ourselves on every day. We go and feed the dog and moan at the dog because why is it being, and we put on the coffee and the coffee pot reminds us that it's broken or whatever it is. And all these little things around us inform us of what our life is like. It's not fact, by the way. Just information, because another person could live in exactly the same experience as you and have a completely different feeling going on. So the idea that our outside informs our inside is something that we can honor. If we want to create freedom as an inside out process, can we honor that in the true reciprocity of the way flow of life happens, our outside informs some of our inside? Sometimes incorrectly and sometimes in strange ways. So if we're looking at exactly, Fritz, it's a beautiful way of putting it, our mirrors. If we're wanting to look at how do we surround ourselves with things or people or experiences or whatever it is, anchors that anchor us to the feeling of freedom or joy or love, because they're all integrated in the same place. Alignment, courage, authentic expression, creation versus reaction, that all of these things come together when we remember to feel it, to experience it. And so that's why a lot of last week was about anchors. Anchors such as your blueprint. Those of you that have managed to create your blueprint or finish it off. That's an anchor. The pictures. Many of you had amazing experiences trying to work through the pictures and get it down to your top one. You can admit if you haven't been able to do that yet, because you may have some commitment issues that we need to deal with. Like the process of eliminating to say, this is it, is really important. It means we can commit to our light, can commit to our freedom, we can commit to our joy. You can be surrounded by those other pictures too, but commitment is an aspect of joy. As part of the fierceness principle. I can eliminate that which is not most connected to me. So we had the blueprint, we had the pictures. If you're wanting to create anchors in your life, how can you use those to surround yourself? That may mean that you take photos of them and put it on your phone, or you put it up in your wall, or you replicate, or you do whatever you want to do. I'm not going to tell you how to. What I'm going to say is that there's a benefit in repeating some of these things and seeing what gets shown up to you. Some of the other anchors we spoke about, and as I'm going through these, you can just kind of make notes and start noticing for yourself, because we're going to play with these, is we have the songs, the playlists, the things that we can listen to, that when I listen to it, I feel free. So you'll start to notice, what am I seeing and what am I hearing? We're using a 5 sensory approach to connect with what we want. And no matter what's going on, I may be making supper for my ungrateful children. I can listen to some cool music while I'm doing it and I can feel free. Yeah. We had the mantras that came up last week. Some of you are going to like some of these more than others. There's no right or wrong. It's just noticing the tool chest of anchors you want to put around you. Words matter. When you listen to the Express Your Truth webinar, the last video, there was this concept of what you speak creates you. The words you use. This is the way you speak. Mantras, words, poems, beautiful books, when they become our words, they become our truth. And when they become our truth, they become our life. What are the things you're saying on repeat? And really importantly is to notice the mantras that you aren't even aware of. Most of these mantras are the I am statements you have in the world. I am a miserable human being. I am lost. I'm just anxious all the time. I just can't cope. I'm just miserable. I'm just always tired. I am a nightmare. I am never going to be happy. I'm stuck. I am struggling. Say this often enough, you'll feel it. And it will be what you will experience. I am free. I'm a miracle maker. I am light. I'm brave enough to face everything that is difficult in my path. I'm open to explore. I learn how to speak more expressively every day. I am playful and curious. I'm open. These words, these mantras, different anchors to our light. Other freedom anchors that we just explored last week was the meditation. You can notice for yourself, how many times did you do the meditation? How many times? Yeah, oh, there we go. Elizabeth is 3, Maria's 5, that's great. Aradna 5, Adette 2, oh, some others there. Oh, Adila's 5, yeah, 3. Those of you that did it more than once, was it the same meditation the second time you did it and the third time you did it? It was different, eh? So using that as an anchor. When we do things on repeat, which the mind does not like, by the way, the mind goes like, oh, come on. Seriously, you got it the first time. Are you doof? What's your problem here? This is boring. The minute your mind goes, this is boring, your answer is, this is important. Because boredom is an escape from doing something your spirit is ready to do. Your mind will always say what the spirit wants is boring. Because the portal between reaction and creation is boredom. The portal between reaction and creation is boredom. Aligned with the mantras, we had quotes, beautiful words, like we can steal like an artist. I promise you, we are not creating shit that has not been created before. There are many phenomenal light beings that have been on earth, that have laid the path for us. They've given us words. They've given us the songs. It's there. We just need to work with them. We just need to own them, inhabit them, experience them, embody them. Yeah. I'm glad that was a BFO for you, Adila. Then the mandalas. So those of you that had got sets of the mandalas or the mandalas that we've created, sacred geometry and the mandalas might be something that speaks to you. Working with the mandalas in your life, I can show you. So, I mean, most of you all know I love sacred geometry, but this is my freedom blueprint. That's the image that came through for me. And you can start to see the relationship with different sacred geometry. Now, this is not going to mean anything to anybody else necessarily, but it means a lot to me. And it doesn't have to have meaning for others. Another one that I've drawn as part of last week's, when I was, this is, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's a girl standing with the moon. So being able to surround yourself with beautiful things, whether you create them or download them or do any of these things. But the mandalas itself, the freedom mandala, those of you that have this is the crystal grid for the freedom mandala. Having these as symbols in your world, your energy absorbs these symbols as alignment with your freedom blueprint. And without you having to do too much, the connection of sacred geometry with our energetic blueprint is very, very, very powerful and very, very intense. So if you use any of the mandalas that you had received through this process, whether you put them around you with crystals on it, whether you put your water on it, whether you just have it next to your bed, it infiltrates. These symbols are powerful, powerful energetic influences. Exactly, Angela. I love that. It's already available. We just have to enjoy it. Music, art, nature. Sensory pleasure brings us to the present moment, and it says, fuck, life is good, eh? Like right now, this is great. Good, let's do that again. Yeah, pleasure is an amazing way of experiencing the joy of life. We don't have to suffer. It's optional. And so then the pleasure of the struggle also is real. What's the pleasure of this moment? The pleasure of life. You know? So I'm going to introduce you to 3 more that we haven't spoken about. As we've been talking about these ones, you can just start noticing what's been coming up for you, and we'll create a space for some chatting now. But working with crystals can also support the connection to shifting your energy. Crystals, I'm not going to go into how they work tonight. It's just a whole different workshop and different experience. But if you think of the 3 cards for this year, or the 3 cards for freedom, time to create the life you want to live, be brave, and express your truth. There are 3 crystals that align with those energies, those things. So the crystal that currently aligns with it's time to create the life you want to live is a crystal called ocean jasper. So those of you that feel like you want to use anchors, this is an ocean jasper. Beautiful piece. The crystal that aligns with, I'll put this in the email to you tomorrow. The crystal that aligns with Be Brave is a crystal called obsidian. Obsidian. It's a black crystal. This is my little obsidian skull. Isn't he just too bloody cute? Look at him. You can't help but smile if you see him. Really. Those of you are going like, oh my God, we've crossed over the dark side. Be brave. It's just a little crystal skull. It's no problem. And then the crystal that aligns with Express Your Truth is fluorite. So this is a fluorite skull. Yes, I have 2 of them. So those of you that feel any sort of sense of connection with crystals, those are 3 powerful crystals to be working with if you're wanting to connect with the freedom archetypes that we're working with at the moment. The next thing I want to introduce you to, and please know you're more than welcome to open up to lots more than what I'm sharing with you. And this is going to be your task following this Freedom Live, is to do what I've called a freedom walk. And this is to walk like you are free. So this doesn't have to be a 10-kilometer hike, because that does not feel like freedom to me, if you ask me, but it might to you. But it could simply be walking around my table in the lounge. I'm going to walk like I'm free. I'm going to hold my body like I'm free. I'm going to walk around the house. I'm going to walk around the garden. I'm going to take a walk with the dog. I'm going to walk to get the post. I don't care where you walk. I don't care for how long it is, but to walk like you are free. Now, you may want to put your music on to do that. You may want to use oils, or I don't know what you want to do, but to walk every day like you are free, even if it's just for 2 minutes. You can simply walk to the bathroom. As I get up from my desk now, I'm going to walk to the bathroom like I'm free. That intentionality of holding every muscle in your body, every fiber of your being connected to one feeling called freedom for you, whatever that means, is really, really transformative. If you can do it as often as you can. You walk to a lot of places. Do not walk like you're a victim. Do not walk like you are stuck. Do not walk like you are struggling. Walk like you're free, whatever that looks like for you. Now, people might go, what are you doing? Why are you walking like that? You can say, because I'm free. Do you want to join me? And you can say, if I look silly, you can laugh, because laughter is a great thing. But you don't even have to do anything different on the outside. What I'm asking you to do is, and often it's connecting with a sort of light center. Freedom often makes you stand taller, think of foundation and focus. You may find yourself moving differently. But isn't it an amazing question to ask yourself? How would I walk if I was free? If I have to go to a meeting I hate, I'll walk in there like I'm free. Watch me. Yeah? This is inhabiting freedom from the inside out. Absolutely, Vinny. Can you use these crystals on the freedom grid? Please do. That is what the grid is there for, and any others you feel drawn to. So the freedom walk is one of the anchors I offer you today. And the last one is one I'm going to give you a little bit of, well, a minute or so to come up with tonight. And that is a hand gesture that represents freedom to you. After our throat, our hands are the greatest tool we have for expression in the world. The connection of our heart center to our hands is vital. And that's why those that do Reiki energy, we talk about healing hands. We naturally know to put our hands on our heart, to put our hands wherever there's pain, to use our hands in a way to create, to soothe, to shift. We can make anything with our hands. And so when we think of mudras and we think of various symbols that we use with our hands, there's meridians and points in our energy field that get centered and anchored in our hands. And there's loads of ways of using gestures and symbols with your hands to try and shift your energy. Tonight, you're going to come up with, what's the hand gesture you have for freedom? So I want you to all take a minute. If you need to put off your cameras while you're figuring it out, you can do that. You're then going to come online and we're all going to show our hand gestures. This could be it. Yes, Taryn, if that's what's coming up for you, then we can do that. Anything can be your hand gesture. What's really more important is when you do it, you feel connected to something. I don't care what it is. It really doesn't matter what it is. And trust your first instinct. Please don't overthink this. If your hands are really gone into a space and you're like, oh, it can't be that, surely not. Let me come up with something more interesting because this group's going to think I'm crazy if I do that. Just go with the first thing that's coming up for you. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds, not long, 30 seconds to come up with your hand gesture. If you're off screen at the moment, I'm going to ask you to put yourselves on screen so we can see your hand gesture when you come back. Charmaine's beautiful hair. Right, so I'm going to do a little countdown. And when I get to 1, I want to see the hand gestures. And you're not going to go, so we can't see it. You're going to hold it so we can all see it, yes? So if you're off screen, you can come on screen if you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see your hand gestures. This is Pearls, Erica, Elizabeth, Mariette, Fritz, Bernice, Nadila, Nadette, Kathleen. I can't see your hands. Oh, I love it. All right, now what you got there? Is it an interlinking? Okay. Angel A, have you got something there? A heart. Charmaine. Okay, Vanessa. Oh, look, it's moving. Beautiful. There's Venny's hands. We can't see Venny's face, but we can see her hands, which is even more powerful than anything. Like there's your hands there. Okay. What you've just done is something I'm going to ask you to practice every time you do a freedom meditation, a freedom walk, a freedom looking at anything. If you're feeling stuck, just connecting with that gesture for yourself, just for a nanosecond, just centering yourself, just holding yourself, just reminding yourself, just doing whatever it is, whatever the hand gesture is, you'll be amazed how this becomes a personal anchor to you shifting your state, to you stepping into a state that feels free for you. So I'm going to pause there before I take you into the next exercise, which you're going to do in the groups again. Any questions or thoughts or comments or reflections coming up for anyone? So if you have, you can put yourself simply off mute and just say, I have a question or I have something that I want to say. Anybody got anything coming up for you? You're also welcome to put in the chat box. There's Benny has joined us there. Okay. You're all good. There's no voices. Okay. All right. So your job to integrate freedom is to surround yourself with anchors. Let these anchors become the reminders to you. To put these things into your life, to make these things rich and an enticing and absorbing and important part of your life. That's not a frivolous thing you do on the side. It's core to the way you live your life, to the way you experience your life. And you can put your anchors around you in whichever way you want to. When we take these anchors, we can start to shift them, and we don't want to only create a reliance on the outside in. We need to create a reliance on our own habitual paths that we live every day. And so habits are really, really important in living the life you want to live. You cannot live the life of your dreams if you keep doing what you've always done. We know this. This is not news to us. What's important is how we break up with habits that are not serving us. And so the victim in us and the addict in us loves habits that are great distractions, loves habits that are self-sacrificing, self-sabotaging, love habits that are ones that reinforce the belief that nothing can change. And so as I'm speaking, you probably already have one or two things dropping in your mind that are the habits that you think are not serving you. And so if you're noticing that, become aware of it, not with anger, not with judgment, not with shame, but with love. And so, okay, that is giving me something. What I'm going to start noticing, and those of you that continue on this path through this, is noticing what that habit gives you. Most of the time, these habits are giving you comfort. Even if the comfort is an avoidance. And so instead of going, stop it, don't do that, that's bad, because I promise you, you've never changed a habit by doing that. I don't know if any of you have done that. Stop it. Just stop it. Just don't do that anymore. I promise you, it's not going to work. What we're going to do is every time we do it, say, what do I need? What do I need? And then how can I honor that need in a way that gets me closer to freedom? And so kind of as we start to scan our lives, if we're looking at these habits that we need to interrupt, and there's going to be lots going on for many of you in your mind right now, what's even more valuable to do is what are habits you want to put in place? Now, please, when I say what are habits that you want to put in place, we are not doing a late New Year's resolutions where you're going to beat yourself up because I should be going to the gym and I should be doing that and I should be doing that and I should be doing that and I should be doing that. That's not what we're doing. Habits you want to create is what is a ritual that's going to make you feel alive? And the word ritual is really powerful to use. Rituals interrupt time. I'm going to say that again. Rituals interrupt time. So when we do something as a ritual, We're starting something new, or we're shifting the paradox of what we've been doing. Rituals, by the very nature of them, say there's something that came before, there's a process of transformation, and there's something that'll going to come afterwards. And so when I shift from habits to rituals, I start to raise my frequency. What are your rituals for freedom? There can be a ritual when I wash my hands, I bless the water. That can be something that is a ritual that creates more freedom. It can be the rituals of how you lay the table at night. It moves us from daytime to nighttime. It interrupts time. There's a ritual of moving from my home space to my workspace that's been deeply bastardized in the last year, and people have had to find new rituals. You know? There's a ritual of self-time and other time. These are rituals, they're moments, tiny moments that become sacred. Tiny moments that become sacred become a sacred life. And so what you're going to do is, I'm going to put you back into rooms. You're going to meet some new souls. So you may be with different people. Is you're going to brainstorm or come up with what are some ideas for freedom rituals. Now, somebody in the room may say something, and that may be a fantastic idea for them and a crap idea for you, and that's okay. They're free to do that ritual. You go, great idea. Let me think of another one for me. Yeah? There's an abundance of rituals in the world. But I really want to encourage you to play around with listening to each other and exploring what are minute things, daily things, tiny things that I could make sacred as a ritual for freedom. And it may already be something you're doing, but just by bringing this energy of intention to it, you can shift into that. So we're not going to spend very long on it because you obviously can do more work on this outside of this call. I'm going to give you 10 minutes in the rooms with each other. And when you come back, you can all share what the rituals are that you've come up with. Please don't make this hard work. Like there's enough shit in the world. This is a playful exercise. This is fun. How do you make things you do every day sacred rituals of freedom? Right. Any questions before I put you in the rooms? Let's recreate these rooms. Okay. Right now, are you still on here twice? Yes, you are. There we go. Let's move you there.
Taryn, can I set this one out?
Who's this?
Me, Lindy.
Lindy, what I'm going to offer you, my love, is just go listen to everyone. If you don't want to offer something, then say that, but it could be wonderful to listen. Are you comfortable to do that, or would you rather talk to me?
Can I take Lindy?
Vanessa wants to be with Lindy. How do you feel about that, Lindy?
No, that's great. I won't take all your time. No, that's awesome. Thank you.
Oh, no shame. Take Taryn. It's fine.
No,
I'm fine.
no. I won't take Taryn's time. No, it's cool. Taryn must go and visit everybody. No, that's cool.
Go to the room, Lindy, and share what you feel comfortable to share. And if you want to just sit with these beautiful souls and listen to them, you're welcome to do that. Okay.
Thank you.
Love you lots. Okay. Right. 10 minutes. Off you go. Hello, welcome back. How was that? There's Lindy. Was it okay, Lindy? You're on mute, but I can feel it's all good.
Sorry. The ladies on the call are awesome.
Told you. All right, so as we're waiting for everybody else to come back, what you guys can start doing is in the chat box, just share any specific ritual that came up that you'd like to share, just short and sweet. Just share some of the rituals that you came up with, or some of the ideas you came up with, even if they're in the infantileness, because that is a real word. It's just to share on the chat box. What are some of the beautiful ideas you started to come up with and share? Just some things, because we can steal from each other. That's the beauty of working in groups. So let's see what we put on the chat box. Shower meditation to start and end the day. Beautiful. Oh, lovely to be mindful. Funky dance in the morning and in the meeting and in the afternoon and in the evening. And we're just going to dance our way through life. Beautiful. Moving, 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 moving. Other ideas? Full body check-in, Aradna, exactly. Choosing a crystal and a card every day. Yeah. Crystals in the bra is what I teach everyone, except if you don't have a bra, Fritz. I don't know if you're wearing a bra right now. You can put crystals in your pocket, but otherwise. Tree hugging, absorbing Mother Earth, keeping you grounded. Right now, it's a little bit more tricky, but sunlight is really, really powerful for connecting in with some of that stuff. Shower stress relieving rituals, says Lindy. I'm stealing that. Dancing to my freedom playlist while I'm getting ready in the morning. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Yeah. Getting back to do my full body check-in every morning. Shower to remove stress. Try one new thing every day. Beautiful, tiny thing. Okay. So tomorrow I'll be posting this video for you guys again. And if you find other things, crystals, enjoying the candlelight, just lighting a candle, beautiful. Candle focus. Waking up without an alarm every morning. I don't know if I'd wake up. I wish I could do that, Elizabeth. I think that's a cool one. Actually, to be fair, most days I do that. Not that you think, Megan. Yeah. Huh. Thanks for that. That was useful. Go for a walk on the beach. Love candles. So your work from this beautiful live session that we're doing is, so every day and every week, just as part of your freedom experience, start looking at these anchors and rituals. Rituals become habits. Rituals become habits. And habits become patterns, and patterns become frequency. So rituals become habits, habits become patterns, patterns become frequency. So when we introduce beautiful rituals, not the ones that we are on autopilot around, rituals that make us feel alive and inspired, they shift us to a new frequency. Beautiful. So we've got a chance to do some live readings. So if you feel like you would like to be the participant, I'm going to pull a card for you and give you a message from your guides. It does need to be in response to a question. So if somebody's got something coming up, obviously related to freedom and what we're talking about, let's not change topics completely. That's a whole different thing. But who feels like you would like to put up your hand and say, pick me? I have a question that I'd like to receive some guidance around. So we will take 2 or 3, depending on how we do it. Pearl, beautiful. So if you want to put yourself off mute and you can tell us what is it. And then Vanessa, I saw your hand go up next. So after Pearl, we'll go to Vanessa and then we'll see how we're doing. Yeah, Pearl.
One of the, I mentioned in one of the chats earlier, when I discovered for me what freedom was right now, there was a lot of guilt associated with it. And that I struggled with. It felt as if it was wrong and bad. And I'll tell you what it was money.
Okay. Is it wrong and bad to have money or to want money? Or
to want it at this point. And I kept on saying to myself, but it's okay because, and I remembered something you said that it can change, the freedom, what you in that point, but that was very hard for me. that was very, very difficult for me, was to acknowledge that and to get to my last picture. It was like, I felt really bad. It was like I'm pushing my family away. It was just wrong, because one of the pictures was family, and then I chose, and it was hard.
Okay, beautiful. All right, so some of you might be resonating. Remember, the messages that come forward are, or the questions that come forward and the guidance that comes forward is not just for Pearl, it'll be for everyone. So as you listen to this, start noticing what connections do you make to this, and how you can shift or learn or heal from this. So the card, Pearl, is going to be interesting to you. The card is step into your full power. And so the way your male guide comes forward, and he comes forward very strongly, he comes forward like he's got a very determined focus. Like if you imagine a sort of being come forward and like there's nothing you can do to interrupt their path. They know where they're going. I don't know if you've met anybody like that. They're like quite assertive. They know their path, they know where they're going, they know what they're doing, and they're unapologetic about it. Like, get out my way or come with. Like, seriously, I don't understand the point. He comes forward with that sort of energy, and he says, whether we're talking about money or whether we're talking about love or whether we're talking about freedom, whether we're talking about anything, your biggest resistance is power, feeling powerful in your life. So money for you is something that has been associated with a masculine energy, an energy of power and energy. And power can be used in lots of different ways. Power can be used for good. Power can be used for distraction. Power is not the problem. What it's used for is the challenge. You sadly have a lot of thoughts and experiences where you've seen power being used for destruction. And in that, you've made a vow to resist power. That power is bad. And so anything that it connects to power is going to be, by definition, bad. And so the healing is noticing your intention for what you want to do with power, be it the power of money, the power of time, the power of love, the power of your voice, whatever it is. You can trust what you want to do with it and not live by the stories of what you've seen done with it on earth and in your life as well. You've had people hurt you that you've associated with being too powerful. Does that make sense, my love? Okay. Anything you want to add on to that, or can we move on to someone else? Okay. So notice what came up for you as Pearl got that guidance, because beautiful, beautiful, beautiful guidance. Vanessa, I said you're next. So Vanessa, as
Okay, wow. Okay, overcoming my social media fears.
yes, a fantastic job. I'm so proud of you.
Okay, so how with all this freedom which I have found over the last 5 days, and it's remarkable how I have found it, is how can I do the greatest good for the greatest number while still honoring my greatest joy and highest good?
How can I just
Do the greatest good for the greatest number with all this freedom that I have at my disposal, while still honoring my greatest joy and highest good?
I don't think you're going to like the answer, just by the way. So
I have no doubt. Like, is that not the point? I'm supposed to resist the answer.
So the card that's come up for you is it's time to give up.
That's very unhelpful.
Give me a chance. You know, is this a happening in your life, Vanessa? So have a look here at this card, those of you that are resonating with the question. And you can see this barbed wire fence here that starts to become the bird. Now, giving up is a really, really beautiful thing to learn how to do. There are many things to give up. We're taught not to give up. We're taught to persevere, to persist, to struggle, to overcome, to even be resilient is one of the words that we use. You know, you must bounce back, you must do these things. And when we inhabit that, it's your female guide talking, when we inhabit that, sometimes we don't honor our own experience of life. We have an emotional experience of life, and then we must persevere, and we must push forward, and we must carry on, and we must do that. And one of the biggest ways we do that, so many people, and I know your story, but so many people through grief and various other ways, they come back for others, not for themselves. So the thing that gives me the will to persevere, to live, to be happy, to explore, is to serve others, to be so focused on others and what I can do for them that somehow it feels like that gives me permission to be alive, to be strong, to be good, to be awake, whatever words we want to use. And so the thing to notice in this is, how do you release the need to serve others as your primary way to feel it's okay to be alive? Is to serve your joy, and in that others will be served. To be the beacon of light that you are, but to live fully inhabiting the permission to do it for you, not for others. That's life when we do it for ourselves, and others will benefit, but not to make sure it serves them and only then I do it, because we'll keep being pulled in 1,000 directions, because every soul you meet has a new request.
Sure.
And so in your path of how you've discovered a way to give yourself the stamina to live, part of it is infusing what others need to keep you going. And to heal yourself, say, okay, I'm alive for me. I'm here for me. I'm here to serve me. And in that, I promise you, my love, you have an amazing gift to share with so many. But it comes from doing it for you.
Thank you, darling.
Okay, does it resonate?
It does.
It's still supremely unhelpful.
It's still unhelpful.
All right.
I'm working on gratitude, but thank you.
I don't know, put up their hand first, but let's go to Kathleen, because she's top of my screen with her hand up. So do you have a request, Kathleen?
Mine was
Was or,
finding free. Sorry.
was or is?
No, is sorry. Is how do you find freedom when your obligations are the ones in the way, and you can't let go of your obligations?
Okay. And what, if you were feeling brave enough to share what feels like obligation to you today? Is it
Financial
obligations?
Mm.
Okay.
So in other words, it's like I would love to just say, walk on the road and just say goodbye to everybody, but I've got financial obligations, and I can't just leave the job, and because I need the finance, so and I feel like sometimes the job is what's holding back the freedom, and you can't just leave that because you've got those obligations.
Okay. Okay. There's 2 cards for you. I'm trying to tell them I do not have time for 2 cards, and they're like, make time. I'm like, okay. So the first card that's come up, Kathleen, is synchronicity, see the signs.
Mm-hmm.
It'll make a bit more sense now. The second card is step into the void. Now these are going to feel like Vanessa's supremely unhelpful as a starting point. Your male guide is the one that comes forward, and he presents himself as quite, if I had to give you a feeling that comes forward, is quite skittish is the word. So if you think of like a little squirrel or a mouse or something running around and like hiding away here and then running around and hiding away there, almost everything that comes along, almost like trying to move away from it, or that sort of energy, not of necessarily being afraid, but being skittish being quite reactive to everything that's going on around him. And he says that he brings us forward to notice for yourself how you've become so reactive to everything that is going on around you. And that reactivity means that you live so distant from your own ability to decide what you want to do where you are, whether this is at work or anywhere, it's the sort of adapting or accommodating too much to everything that's going on around you, rather than stepping into it and saying, what do I infuse here? What is it that I want to bring into this? What do I want to do in this? And that feeling of obligation, feeling like it's something that keeps me trapped, is your gift. If you could free yourself from that, you would be free of it. If you're not free of it yet, what they mean by that is if you're not able to remove yourself from that, it means you haven't learned what it's there to offer you. What it's there to offer you is how do you become the influencer in that space as opposed to the reactor in the space. And in order to do this, you have to own the grace of you, the magnificence of you. You're very influential, but you influence from the background, not from the foreground. There's a resistance to stepping into the part of you that can lead beautifully, to see yourself as the leader that you are, rather than the reactor that you end up being. And in order to do that, noticing the fear of standing out, the fear of getting attention, the fear of being bold. And so the obligations are not the obligations are the gifts. All obligations give us an opportunity to learn about freedom in that. There's so many, one of the ways they often talk about it is many people want to be spiritual by exiting life. You know, we're going to go live on the mountain. Okay, where's Elizabeth? Not that mountain. On the mountain. We're going to grow our own food. We're going to do our own thing. We're just not going to participate in life. We just don't have to have money. We don't have to have people. We can go do all these things. But you can't change life by being on the outskirts. You can only change it by being involved. You have amazing ability to influence many people's lives when you step into the gift of your obligations. Does that resonate for you? Does it make sense for you?
It does. It's just not easy in the environment I'm in, but
Nope. Nope, but this is facing the beautiful victim in you, full on, and saying, okay, how do I break free of that?
Mm.
Luckily, I'm seeing you on Saturday, so we can talk more about it.
Yay.
Okay, I think we can do one more. So, Odette, I'm going to give it to someone else, seeing as you've already won a whole program with me, if you're okay with that. Aradna, I think your hand's up next, and then I'll see if there's one or two questions in the chat box. I'll see what's happening there. Aradna, do you want to?
Yeah, thanks, Taryn. I think, so there was like two questions that I've been tossing up with, but I think the main one is just in terms of guidance around feeling stuck and unable to connect with the creativity that obviously would lead to freedom.
All right, so there's a statement the guides often give me. So I'm not laughing at you, Radna, I'm laughing at the card that's come up, given what they were talking about. Is they have often said to me, when somebody says, are you stuck? Ask them the following question, are you a tree? Because unless you're a tree, you can't be stuck.
Okay.
That's impossible. You are not in the same place you were yesterday. It's impossible for us as human beings to be stuck. Stuck is a feeling that we need to honor, but it's not a belief we need to integrate as fact. And so it may sound like a difficult way to introduce it, but for the group as a whole, when you can internalize, I'm not a tree, if I'm not stuck, what am I? Maybe I'm scared. Maybe I'm hesitant. Maybe I am using this as an excuse. Maybe I'm doing something else. But if I'm not stuck, then what is the truth of what's going on here? And so the card I got when I was thinking that is this card, and you'll see there's 3 trees in it. That's why I was laughing. And so the card says, we are all connected, you are not alone. We are all connected, you're not alone. Aradna, what card did you pick at the beginning of the session out of 1, 2, and 3?
2.
Okay, which was the right or wrong?
Right or wrong, yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
I don't need to say anymore. Okay. Creativity is a playful expression. It's a way of, if I give you a blank piece of paper, you don't need to know what you're going to draw on it. You need to just draw and see what emerges in it. And you have a disconnect. So remember, this card is we're all connected, but the disconnect is to the playful child in you. That you must be grown up and clever and responsible and have the answer and the plan. And so they say, you know, to inhabit your creativity, what they encourage you to do is to find something that does not involve thought. That can be finger painting, that can be pottery, that can be dancing, that could be gardening, something that requires no thought for you. You're not invested in having to do it right. You have linked creativity to a need to do creativity right. Can you see how that's now stuck? Let's
with you.
create in a right way, please. And most of us, you know, there's some teachers on this call, so you would also know this, have had experiences with authority figures being teachers or parents that told us we were creating wrong. Yeah. Don't cut like that, don't color like that, that's the wrong color to use. The sky's blue, not brown. Why are you making brown sky? And as children, we inhabit the auditing of our own creative expression, and then we stop doing it because we're trying to be right.
Wow, that resonates so much.
So they're saying, take a coloring book and color it wrong. Make the sky brown, make the grass blue, do everything the wrong way, give them different colored eyes, color outside the lines, do everything wrong on those pages as a ritual for you to heal that intrusive thought that you're doing it wrong.
Thank you. Thank you, Taryn.
All right, so I see there's some other questions here. Denise, I struggle with the freedom of expression to voice what I need and to move forward with the motivation to make the changes I need to. I'm going to give you a card, Denise. There isn't enough time for a full reading, but they want me to give you a card so you can connect with that. Denise, where is she? Why can't I find you? Where's Denise? Oh, there you are.
There we are.
See the signs. So whatever messages you had through the channeling I've been given that felt like was for you, that's a validation of it.
Very much so. Thank you, Taryn, because they were from each person. So thank you to each one that's brought a question, because they were all really helped to explore it further. So thank you so much.
Amazing. How beautiful. Okay. Veni, the question is the blockage. Where's Veni? The question is the blockage. I love a reading what my biggest block to my freedom is. That question will lead you to look for blocks. Ask what's the biggest opening to your freedom. Shift your direction to what's available rather than what's blocked. And that question will eliminate that. Okay, beautiful, beautiful readings. So we're going to wrap up tonight with pulling of a draw. So I'm going to go slightly over. If it's okay, if anybody has to leave, then just let me know. But the Nirvana program is a 4-session coaching program. Somebody's going to win they're going to win a prize, and they're going to one of you will be lucky enough to do 4 sessions with me. I say lucky enough. I'm not sure that that's necessarily accurate, but lucky enough to have the opportunity. And I really just want to just introduce that with why it's called Nirvana. So Nirvana is a word that comes from a Sanskrit word that is about freedom. It is essentially heaven on earth. And in the Buddhist philosophy, Nirvana is it's an elimination from the idea that life is about struggle. It's about living in a place of true freedom, that I'm able to live as heaven on earth, that heaven is not a place we're moving to. It's a place on earth. And I'm going to be very cheesy right now because I'm going to be cheesy because when I was growing up as a little girl, there was a song by an artist called Belinda Carlisle that I used to sing at the top of my voice, and I could never figure out what it was about. And it's called Heaven is a Place on Earth. And I'm going to read you the words from that song. And I want you to not think of it as a love song between a man and a female, but think of it as a love song between divinity and humanity. As a song that is really about creating a connection between these. And so the words go like this. Oh, baby, do you know what that's worth? Heaven is a place on earth. They say in heaven, love comes first. We'll make heaven a place on earth. When the night falls down, I wait for you. You come around. And the world's alive with the sound of kids on the street outside. When you walk into the room, you pull me close and we start to move. We're spinning with the stars above, and you lift me up in a wave of love. Oh, do you know what that's worth? Heaven is a place on earth. They say in heaven, love comes first. We'll make heaven a place on earth. When I feel alone, I reach for you and you bring me home. When I'm lost at sea, I hear your voice and it carries me. This is my favorite part. In this world, we're just beginning to understand the miracle of living. Baby, I was afraid before. I'm not afraid anymore. Do you know what that's worth? Heaven is a place on earth. And so I don't know what it's like for you when you hear these words, but for me, when I've connected to these words from a place of the divine and the human, for me, that is what we are here to do. That is what this is all about. So to end off tonight, we're going to do the draw. So I'm going to share my screen here and we're going to see this. And so you should see a wheel. Do you all see that on your screen? Your name's on this. If you can't see your name, just let me know. Here's the names here. So if you're here and your name's not there, speak now or forever hold your peace. Now, I'm going to take Odette off, not because I don't love her or because she's not here and not important, but she's already won it. So you can't win two. Well, you can, but we don't really.
Taryn, you can take me off too.
Okay, my love, I was going to ask you. There we go. So Angel A, who's here because she's been such a beautiful part of the program. Right, everybody here. All there. So we're going to shuffle this so you don't think it's like, you know, rigged in any way, shape or form. I can stop shuffling. And then we're going to spin. Here you go, Kathleen. It's very funny, Kathleen, when I was giving you the guidance, they said to me, when she comes for her session, you can take her through more of it. So,
and it's funny, and it's so funny during the whole week, everybody's getting their prize. I said, you know what, I'm going to win the main one, so it's okay.
well, there you go. So congratulations, Kathleen. If any of the rest of you would like to take your path forward, you're welcome to connect with me and we can see how we can make that a reality for you. But congratulations, Kathleen. I'll send you the information on how you can get started with that. So we're slightly over 9 o'clock, but if anybody would like to say something to be able to close off tonight, you're welcome to come online, say anything or to put it in the chat box. Otherwise, just let me give a moment. Does anybody want to say anything before we end off tonight?
I just want to add one thing, and I shared it on the group earlier, is that when you were talking about the freedom walk, and I think anybody with a family will know that the best freedom walk is walking naked in your house.
Yes.
And
yes. Yes. I love that.
And I was giggling, but I just wanted to share it with everybody because I said, you know, if and when you can, take that freedom walk.
Yeah. I'm a big believer. I always tease people, those of you that have been part of my life for long enough, you'll know I talk about the naked workshop because making peace with it, like being the freedom to be naked, just do that. Like seriously. Beautiful. Thank you for the amazing session. Beautiful souls. Anybody else want to say anything before we wrap up? Thank you very much for showing up. Thank you very much for being amazing. I look forward to seeing you all as we go forward. Lots of freedom walks, lots of beautiful things. Love you all madly. Take care. Namaste. If anybody's needing to hang around, I'll be here for a few more minutes. Beautiful, Adila.
I want to show you something quickly.
Yes.
I've just had some inspiration. I've been trying to, since the beginning of the year, either draw a mandala or just something for myself, and I haven't managed. Okay, and you know, my mandalas in the past 2 years, it hasn't been wonderful. Okay, but I just had this inspiration. So I'm going to show you this picture quickly, and I think I'll call this my freedom. I'll call this my freedom wheel. I'm going to do it properly, but this is just what it's come out as. I don't know if you can see it properly.
That's beautiful, Alida. Well done. You're amazing.
It's just something that this is just, I don't know. I want to put color to it because this was supposed to be leaves, but I think it needs to be flames. It needs to be flames.
Whatever you make it into. Well done. That's amazing. Yeah. I'm so glad you connected.
I'll put that onto paper.
Beautiful. Share it with me if you want to. Beautiful.
I will do. Okay. Thank you so much for tonight.
Pleasure. Take care.
See you. Bye. You too. Bye. Bye.
Aradna, Venice, Charmaine, anything that you're wanting?
I just stuck around with the leader. I just wanted to say she always does the most amazing doodles. From lifting the veil, she's just always, her writing and her doodles are just amazing.
I also hung around.
To see.
I never get it. I never manage to do it in a class. I always manage to do it like it's something that comes spontaneous, and that's because when we do it in class, it feels forced. Like I have to do it, and as soon as I just let it go, then these things just pop up. And then I always say I can't draw.
Earlier you said on the call that you don't know what freedom is for you, so I hope you figured it out. That's what it is.
Well, for me, when you asked us about the hand sign, even earlier on when we were talking about it, it came to me as just arms outstretched like this. I have a photo of BJ. I mean, I was never allowed to ride a bicycle as a child. And this picture in my mind of, look, Ma, no hands. I have a photo of BJ like that, sitting with her feet on a bicycle on the middle section. And she's sitting on it and she throws her arms out like this. And I thought to myself, if that to me was a picture of freedom since I was a child, and I managed to sort of give it to her because she spontaneously did it that one particular day. And that all of that came to mind when we were talking earlier. So yeah.
The distinction you could make, the shift you can make, you didn't give it to her, she gave it to you. This is your image. She gave you this moment. This is your freedom, not her.
Yeah.
So take it, claim it.
Yeah.
You know, part of the blueprint is finding the picture that resonates with freedom for you. And so if that's it, use that. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Denise,
I think about it, it does.
Love?
Oh, sorry. I just love listening to everybody's experience. So it's so nice to actually just hear, especially like I got the chance to chat to Alida a little bit earlier. So just seeing her connection there and what she's brought. So for me, thank you so much, Taryn. Really, this week has been lovely just to connect with freedom specifically and be on purpose for it. I think that's the biggest gift that it has brought. So I'm very grateful that you were able to offer that. It's my first experience of a course with you, and I know the other ladies were talking very, very highly about your other courses. So I hope to see you on something in the future.
Beautiful. I'd love that. I'd love that.
Like I said, I'm also very grateful to have won your card. So I'm looking forward to that. Like, yay!
So then you can give them. How awesome.
Looking forward to it. So excited. Thank you so very much.
All right, ladies.
Thank you, Taryn.
Take
See
care.
you on Saturday.
Yes. Okay. Bye.
Bye.